I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is March 3rd, Monday, 2025. Hope you had a good day, good weekend, beautiful damn day. And so Friday's video, I'm saying that we can come up and then reverse to then take out the low. And we did that. Obviously, this in this case is extreme, but it's also possible to come and get up above these guys, which is very also not likely in the sense that it's going to be very heavy. So here, we got a daily imbalance right here that I got highlighted then presently, and we're coming up and we're squeezing out sellers. They gapped up, and then all this shit just kind of like happened and rolled over right here, all in the still discount area. So the logic is the same and the flow is beautiful. So for example, today we as you see that imbalance there, we popped up and we did a couple 3 drives. We did a raid today, squeezed out everybody here. Notice that take out that guy, that one little guy, but barely, and then it's just dropped. So this is kind of like your resistance, like even if it was a 1 minute time frame. I want to make this video short. I'm tired of kind of making long videos, so from now on, I think because after this we're probably bearish now. So like go study. You're gonna want to study. Where is it? You're gonna want to study the 2022. So come over to 2022. All right, 4 hour, and then see this price action when we hit here, and you'll see that we're up and down, right? Confusing. Then it breaks lower. So this little move, remember that move that happened in 22? You can see that we start kind of breaking these lows here, popping back up real quick, and then extending. I think we're like right here. I think we're like doing this right now, for example. So and then we can continue. So go to the 12th, or whatever, this area, the 10th, 12th, whatever. But this whole area, go take a look and watch how we do the drives up, selling liquidity, taking out liquidity to the left, and then breaking lower lows and lower highs, right? Very simple structure. And I think if we're bearish for what today did, kind of shows me that we're kind of leaning on that type of idea. So I'm saying all that to say this, it'll make sense going forward, but I got to make videos short, man. So to say that, you can see overbought here, and then possible coming back down for the liquidity that we built when we had that video on Friday. I'm doing the video and the shit's shooting up like it's a fake displacement, but it could be possibly, because still could be bullish at the same time, right? But when you see this type of structure, is generally bearish strongly. But when you're looking at the heat map in the background, look at this. We're coming underneath and we're using it as resistance at the 50%, right? Like, see that? Like, so it's just algorithmically coming down, coming back up, right? And all that. So when we gapped up, we came up, and then we came, like I said, mentioned this, and then coming down to this area with this 4 hour imbalance with that breakout level that happened at the end of the day, which was shady as fuck on Friday when I was saying it live. Well, this was my target for today, because of, I don't care if it's bullish or bearish. If it's going to go all the way up, then it's still going to come back in here most likely. So you have 2 reasons to sell today. You only had 1 reason to buy, right? But that logic will make sense once you see the rest. So going right to it, I want to show you the first trade here popping up. This was kind of spooky because of the way they were doing this here. But if you were watching live price, you would have saw this reject very, very hard. Once it pushed up, I mean, it was damn near instant printed, kind of locking people out of trying to get that top. And then the wick here, I'm measuring it with these 4 levels, the quad levels right here. So look how we didn't come to 50%. I saw that. I said, oh, that's a sell, but I have to be patient more and let price show order flow. So the next candle, push back up, gets to the 25%. A hair under, actually, right there. See that? That third one? I saw like, this is a sell, dude. I'm like, this is a sell, but it's okay. I'm going to wait for an actual order flow. So what happened is that we had this candle this push-up candle right here, this is a possible inversion. Plus, recognize that this candle is closing below these highs. So it's just like a raid. We understand that we're already also bearish. We did pop up. If you look on the 15-minute, you can see we did some drives up. And generally, even if it was bullish, it would do, if this wasn't a consolidation in a raid and a retracement coming back to be bullish again, either way, you're still selling this, right? And look at the very, very clear, I'm being very clear, write your notes, this is super fire, but obviously I'm aiming for this first. See this low right here? I got it circled on purpose. Why? Well, it's because you got equal lows right there. That low and that low is a little too obvious and suspect. Plus you have the imbalance. Plus you have the breakout traders right here coming up. So that right there is a trifecta. Like, it's fucking, that's beautiful. Plus you have a speaker. So see this high, low, then it comes high, then it comes low, then it builds these higher lows up to these highs right here. And then look, if you draw imaginary line, but here, if you do imaginary line here, you're going to see that same thing. It's going to come back, speaker, and then it's going to come back up in the range to then sell, take the sellers from over here. And then if it's 50%, it'll either go up or go down from there, right? In general speaking. So this is, now you see the flow. This is why this is so beautiful. You can see the, I got two projections here at the time. Just these two body candles here, and you can see just the blue. You can see that, 2 to 2.5 is down here, 3.5 to 4. I understand this is coupled with, I'm also measuring the high of that wick and then the swing low, right? Well, actually I missed that part. I should have put it there, but that's okay, whatever. And I see 1 and 1.5 over here. What else do I have here? Which is going to be the opening range gap. It's completely wide open, number one. Number two, the liquidity I just said here. And then you address that the 4-hour imbalance over here. You see that, can't miss that. So that's there. And the breakout level, these are all targets. I mean, either you're gonna take target, doesn't mean you buy from there, but these are targets from the sell. Okay, so have to have balls and let it. So since I said all that, you can see, and 50% of the bearish imbalance, which is the pink in the background. You see the pink in the background? See the pink in the background? It's kind of muddy, but don't worry about it. The pink in the background, look at this 4-hour, it opens inside that gap, the gray one in the background, and it's literally kind of like at 50% sitting there. So you see that we shift there. That's algorithmic as well. Target down. But let me get into here, back to the right. You see when we come below, we shouldn't even make this. See how we pop up when we come back down. This is why my videos are fucking long, dude. Explaining everything. But this is gonna be fire. So pushes down here, this wick. So it's below that bullish imbalance, maybe turning bearish as an inversion, right? So when it pops up and I say I'm looking for the dump and the pump. I said that very clear in the last videos. So what does that look like? Well, you'll normally see a dump and a pump. They decided to just do a fake pump. If it was a real pump, it would have went higher. It would have went stronger and higher. And let's just say it didn't. But this right here is a big red flag. And then also this pushing down deeper like that. If it was to come back in and stop, this is the first imbalance right here. As you can see, it's the 931 candle. And you see we're above it, below it. And then we come above it, we stop here, and then we come below it. This is a very sign that it's going by there. I'm getting here. How did I get here? When we pushed all the way down and pushed back up, created an imbalance right there. Plus, I'm at 50% of this bullish imbalance. But then what's more key is this next candle right here that it pops up. So the bearish imbalance is highlighted right there, and you have to use the next candle higher because there's a tick difference or two. You got to include the gap, but that doesn't matter here because the imbalance right there, which is right there, right? You see the next candle digs in, and it didn't even dig. It actually just instantly printed, and I saw that live, and instinct was like, this is a sell, 100%. And then the price starts pushing down. This candle starts coming down. As soon as it's like in its motion of moving down this way, I'm pushing the button. That's how I actually got entered, literally. So fucking beautiful. I mean, man, when I tell you beautiful, bro, beautiful. So, but before I was actually in this sell here. See this right here? So when we were coming down like this, I'm expecting lower pricing first. I want to dump first. Again, I don't give a fuck if it's bullish or bearish. So I was in this sell. You see how we popped right into that imbalance right there. Took that sell. I was here. When we came down, we came and we swept that, but we have this imbalance right here on the 1 minute. We end up so because it's possible that it's support, right? You got to understand. So we come and we wick that, and these are strong candles, right? But I wasn't going to buy here, obviously, because I'm selling into. I want to come in this range. I already know where the previous settlement is. Anyways, with all that being said, and plus what I just said over here to the left of the chart down here, it whips up. I take that loss. But see, when you get this candle and it pushes up hard, I say, okay, you can take me out. I know the game. And they're trying to shake me. That's what they're fucking trying to do. They're trying to shake me because they know that I'm on a ass. So and another reason why it ended up being a great trade was because we had a higher high here in Nas. It was a divergence. And we had higher highs here with Dow. And we had lower highs here with so I really should have just drew it down. I wasn't really even looking at that. I should have put it here. But that was what I was looking at. So this was actually what I saw as we took high. So because I'm trading Nas and I care about S&P. I don't really care about Dow as much. But here we also had a lower low here with S&P, and we had higher lows here. That's why I was saying to myself, I was like, okay, well, I see this. This is what I'm talking about. It's either going to buy from here or not. So they shaked out. But when I see the way this closed, the way this really worked for me was because when I saw this 933 candle, the way it moved, live time, the way it moved and reject back down to close like that, that was my indication 100%. Then I took it in here. So you allow the market to play around a little bit. But anyways, overkill maybe, but otherwise it's fire. And then we push through. As soon as we blow through that first imbalance, I'm already in the trade. I know that I'm good. So it's down and then boom, it's extending. And then they're using this area. If you look on the 15-minute, you'll see while it's printed here, you'll see that that's empty. See how that stays empty like that? So to reach out the external liquidity here, that's on purpose. So that's also strength, but you'll see that we come down to the 50% of the opening range gap. Plus, remember, don't get confused. There's the pink bearish daily imbalance right there. We have the gray gap, obviously. We have 50% of that daily imbalance in the pink as well. And we also have the current week gap. Okay, those layers right there. There's nothing else. Plus the midnight level right there that goes around in orange over here. That goes right through all the way, right? So there's nothing else there. All right, so now that I said that, you'll see algorithmically, this was shady how they didn't touch that high gap right there. But that's okay. They didn't need to. It's actually weak and it's ready to go. So this is to explain that. But come down here to the 50%. I'm holding. I'm looking at 3 drives. I want to see how the structure is. They were playing here, and they put this fake up candle here to pretend like that was the control of price. Then they made these 4 consecutive blue ones. Pops vaguely right into that bearish imbalance, as you see it right there, right? So that's a breakaway imbalance. If it, you don't want to even see it filled in, but if it can tap in there. And basically for the people who are trying to sell like this right here, these little lower highs here. So the slithering down, all right, and then they made this the controller price. When the price came back up here, I wasn't shitting bricks, but because I was already very confident in coming into the 2 fucking areas I already got highlighted here. You see that? So in the 15-minute down there, right? So anyways, then we look at this, and sure enough, holds, comes down, breaks that. You see the blue candle, very clear what I'm showing here, and then trailing the fucking thing all the way down by the candle, dude. Even on the 32nd, I do it too, so it's even lower. But and the goal here, obviously reaching, you can see the bearish imbalance, right? Very clear on the 4 hour. The liquidity low there, the breakout fucking level, which we're coming. I'm actually doing this as we're skimming down, and then the 2 to 2.5, you can see is right here. And then you can see also the 2 to 2.5 right here. So at the time, that's what I have measured here. This high, this low. You see this to the left here, right there. You see that? So you can see the two right when I'm watching price dip in. Not only am I in here, but I also see this -2. And for me, I'm just calling it. I'm just taking the fucking picture, putting the stop down, baby, and I accomplished what I came to fucking do, which is beautiful. So with this understanding, watch this. So the next one here, I'm looking for dump and pump at the minimum. Now, if it's bullish or bearish, just how I'm going to make this a long video, and it might be my last if I go extended, because there's nothing else to say after this. But if move 1 is the one I just caught, right? So then here before 10:30, before 10 o'clock comes, we have news today. So when I took the screenshot here with this candle and I got stopped out, I was like, it pops back up here, and I was like, this could be, because we look to the left of the chart. We didn't hit the breakout level that I even have a circled here, but that's from the previous video. But it's the same idea because we broke right through it. So I have that and the gap that's down here, right? So taking the picture down here, the gap's still down here, but me, I gotta trail this. I'm squeezing it for the last drop, and I'm done with this trade. So that's move 1. Now that I've said that, we popped right in here. See that? We popped in, and this was I was gonna try to catch this for a sell, but I let it go, let it alone. Look at the body sitting at 50% of that bearish imbalance. Just talking about right here. Then what did it do? It shot down. So 10 o'clock comes, fucking, and I knew it, dude. And it took this last drive down that came to the gap. Right when they did that, it snapped hard on the 10 o'clock, and I was like, just like it fucking did here, but even worse. And I was like, bro, you can't even let me in. And there was a slight moment when on the 30-second here, that when the price was and the candle was starting to pop back up, I was like, dude, this is a buy, take this. But I am also chill and also letting see it maybe a third drive down possibly, and or also having patience and seeing what it's actually going to do. It didn't give me that real chance. It gave me a chance, but it was a suspect chance, and I was like, nah, I'm not chasing it like that. So that's fine. So that's move 1. I'm looking for move 2, which is going to be so this was sell, buy, so buy and then sell and then very simple, right? This is the flow. So, and I'm looking for a buy here because I know we're coming up here. At this point, I've got this high and this low highlighted right here. You can see it with the fib right here. 50% that little red line right there, and then that's the high, right? So you can see the 50%. It's very hard to see because it's thin, but my understanding is that I'm coming back. So the speaker has now printed. See the speaker right there? So now we're coming back to 50%, which some people call it the mean reversion. I don't really care what people call it, but the idea is coming back for that, right? It's also the present week gap. And by the way, when the price was sitting in here, you were at 50% of the purple, right? But I don't have it quadded. I don't need it. But you also have the opening range gap in the orange. You can see coming up, coming down, coming up to the midnight level as well. Don't forget the midnight level don't worry, it's not a lot. It's there though. But we use that pretty well as support resistance situation. And then I'm looking for the buy. So when they messed me up over here and I couldn't catch it, I said, okay, I'm going to, before I do that, I took this sell here. So when we wicked up right into that and balanced again, I was like, oh, fuck. So I didn't miss it. I can catch it for another drive down because I was looking for that other drive. So I caught the sell right in there, came down, and it stopped above 50% of that wick. And I was like, oh, fuck. So it came back up deep. I'm looking for it to break low. It was in 5 grand profit. Stopped right there. But I understand that number 1 has happened, but 1 is not done. Move 1 is not done because it can come another drive or come deeper. It didn't come deeper. So it pushed up and it took me out right there. I said, okay, cool. We're buying. All right. Because now I'm looking. So then the price pushes up here. Tags that. You got to have a little patience because you got to see which way it's going to break out. Comes in here and then it whips back down. Where? Comes right back. There's no bodies right here in this price action. So what it's doing is coming right back to the 4 hour and it's respecting that 50%. Look at it in the background. That 50% right there. See that? This is also a projection here, by the way, from this low to this high candle. And you can see it's a 1 right there to 1 and 1.5. You see it's very, there's 1 to 1.5. You see that? It's kind of faint, but it's there. My intention for this buy is to come back up and wipe out the fucking easy sellers and the mean reversion that I talked about and move number 2. Because they didn't let me get it right here, this is still part of move number 2. So very logical and simple. All right, so the price comes down and it's tagging this 50%. Try to get in, wicks me out because I know this this low here is above this high. Remember, they put that in, and it's a very possibility that it doesn't fucking come any lower than that. So you're only offered that, and it be little higher low trend line shits, just like you see with the selling right here. So I understand that, and we're respecting it. So they wicked me out, and then I get in again. Very small loss. Pushes up, retraces back here again, and gets deep. I'm like, fucking bitch. And I had my stop loss just a little bit here there, and then they took me out. Look at this very deeply here. These little wicks right here. They were doing that shit right on purpose because they knew a motherfucker like me is trying to catch that bitch. I swear on my mother. It sure enough stopped out again. Then it pushes down. I push by and I get in. And and this one wicks me, right? All miniature losses. And if it had broke, I would have been done. It would have been I wouldn't have been fucking around. Period. Guess what? It prevailed. Look at the wicks here. I'm showing you the trade. Then this candle here, wicks down. Boom. Gets in. As soon as it's popping back up, right there, I'm fucking back in. Caught the wick. Then it closes blue. Then you get these blue rushes. I was like, you bitches. Why? But the logic was this. Right here. That was the logic. Right there. But this is fucking gorgeous. So, catching it. That's move number 2. I'm very clear. Move number 2. So it pushes up. And right now, I don't give a shit. Took a little losses. I don't want to play around. But I'm dump, pump. The 50% right here is also highlighted. It wasn't highlighted there yet. So it's highlighted it here. And I don't have to be right. So I don't have to be right for this trade. So I'm gonna, once it's giving me all that, beautiful. I'm gonna push that bitch, and then as soon as this came down, it stopped me out. And remember, I tapped the 1 and the 1.5 right here. See that? Look at this. So I tapped the 1, and when I see that, I'm pushing for this to squeeze it out. Hopefully, it would have just popped up a little bit more, but I don't care because I'm squeezing it and it takes me out. And the main thing is that I literally trail it and take that profit out because this thing can be number 2 and be done and never make it to 50%. And then it can be number 3, move number 3 now and push down and wipe me out. So that's the probability of this moment. Okay, watch this. Trying to tell you, I can't make this shit up, player. All right, I get stopped out right there. Okay, what does it do? Retraces back. Uses this as a breakout level. I got it fucking circled here. So it dips in. I'm out of the market. I've already got 1. I got move 2. They wouldn't let me get this because the way they did it, it would have been lower. But guess what? I got it right here. So that's move 2. So move 2 can have an extra drive, right? I don't know. But what I did is I guaranteed my fucking profit and the move. You follow that? I don't have to be right. Look now I got it thicker here on purpose because I know it's kind of thin. Look how thick that is. So what do? I took it right there and then now pushed back down, stopped right there. Looks like it's support. Look, it's going to be bullish because we have that possibility. We get an extra drive up, we push up. I'm not in the market. I'm sitting back and I'm chilling. We're at 50%. No big deal. We pop up. Where are we? We're at the 50% of this opening range gap, which ends up being the control of price for the rest of the day. Okay, it's only 10:30, but watch this. So I hope that's logic for you. So move 1, move 2. Is move 2 gonna keep pushing up, or is this move 2 down done? And now we're going to look for number 3. And that's why I have it highlighted. This will make sense in a second. That's why I have it highlighted, because I'm moving with it. Move number 3. What do? Well, first of all, I'm already kind of done with what I did. But this trade pops up, gets to the 50%, and it gets to this last up candle right here. If I did the open, that's that control of price. See that? See how we tag right in there? I see that live. Overbought. understanding number 3 is going to happen. Why is number 3 going to happen? Well, number 2 happened because when the people were selling down here, like myself, we're pushing back up to wipe them out. Okay. And I'm pushing up to do that. So if I'm selling here, what's the reason why I'm selling here? Besides it being bearish, besides we came underneath that purple big fucking gap, right? And we're tagging very close to that gap again, right there. All right. And by the way, that 50% here of the bearish, the pink, if this is it right here, you see that? So it's right there. See the little dotted line in the background right here? See this? See this shit? That's right here. That's where this turned resistance with the daily bearish imbalance overlapping all this. That's also in the cars and it's holding it as resistance. Algorithmic resistance, period. Heavy right there. See that shit? Hope that makes sense. Okay, anyways, so they pop in, get in right here. I'm like, I want to move number 3. I want it to come all the way down here to the 3.5 to the 4. All right, why do I say that? Because we are bearish, technically, right? Number 1. Number 2, we got the breakout levels right here, right there. See that? See how we pop right through? Big eyesore right there. Liquidity right there. We also have that last monthly low that we talked that is there with a 3.5 to 4. If it's a sell, buy, sell, that would be mean number 3, sell. In a perfect world, I'd like for it to fucking come down here. But guess what? I've already accomplished a great trade. This was a fucking great trade. So I'm not really caring. But number 3, I want to push this down. Why do I have this highlighted? Because this is the same idea of what the fuck I just said right here and here. Look at it. It's a breakout level. Pushes up and it sits on it. Comes up. I highlight it because you have a bearish imbalance. You have the push out traders. When this was playing around and we didn't know that these wicks were gonna hold, we get these momentum candles. We understand now niggas is people are pushing buy right now. You know what I'm saying? So then what does it do? So it's coming down to hunt that area. That's all I cared about, bro. That was going to be my third and done. And I don't care what the rest of the market does because I know what it's going to do. What it's going to do is just going to shake out. Sure enough, it's exactly what it did. So I'm rushing the buy stop here on purpose. My goal, wow, we're dipping right in. I'm like, beautiful. I'm screenshotting it to let you know. I'm pushing the stop loss down and I'm getting the fuck out. Dude, right when it came down here, and before it wicked back up, I was starting to push the thing down. I pushed the thing down and I stopped it right there because I was like trying to do it with a quickness. And then this rushed back up and I just in fucking time to take the picture for you before it stopped it out. And then a hair second later, not even a second, this ended up taking me out. So I ended up getting lucky with the picture. Swear on my mother. So beautiful. Okay. Number 3. So it's question mark, is this number 3 or is number 2 going to keep going? So this was a higher high to come back down for a higher low, even if it was bullish. I'm not saying we're bullish. I'm just saying even if it was, that coming back in here is the complete logic. This is a model all in itself. So is it going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 4 pushes it up? Or is this just number 1 and number 2 and we pop up all the way and we get higher? I don't know if it's going to come up here or not, or come down here or not. So this is why this is a minimum trade. Take the profit, and I am chilling the rest of the damn day. I didn't play no more. I wanted to, and there was a moment where I was like, oh my God, this is going to sell so beautiful. And I said, you know what? You have already accomplished what you wanted to do. It's Monday, tired from the weekend, and guess what? You did exactly what you were gonna do and supposed to do. So now that I've said all this, yeah, there's no way. Fuck. So anyways, that's here. We sell it to there. Guess what? Look, number 3. I'll be done here. So number 3 is this gonna sell from this area here? Is this going to be the selling area here to number 3? So 1, 2, lower low, lower high, lower low, bro. Keeping it very fucking simple. Look what they do. They come back up. They shake. They come right back to that 50% of the gap. In the wick, the rejection wick, you're also in these last up candles. and this is a control of price, and it's actually happening, but it's real deep, it's real bogus. That's why I took this motherfucking profit, and I knew when I was squeezing it that if I don't give a shit. I was hoping for a much push, harder dip. If it didn't come, I squeezed them and I got it. But guess what? Now I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not sitting the rest of the day trading. Because if I did, I'd have to sit the rest of the day trading. So there's no reason for that. And I'm saying all that to say it's smart decisions, but comes deep here. Now this is still possible, number 3. Because number 2 pushed up. We've accomplished that it's number 1, and number 2 is in the fucking books. Number 2 is completely solid that this was number 2. Now number 3. You see number 3? Is it gonna be pushing back down to then buy again to be another high? So it's a sell, buy, sell, buy. Is that going to be the thing where then it pops up and we end up coming higher? You have to understand that that's a very big possibility. And I'm saying that because I'm not married to it, but I know that's a possibility. And what's the proof? Well, they shake. They come so deep just to make sure you don't get in it. So then they push down again. This is a possible buy. They're inching their way down to then seal and be incognito of getting more of these breakout traders right there in that area. See that? So they push down. Now is this going to be a buy? 1, 2, 3. Is 3 going to kick in? I would have loved it for it to do that, but it didn't. So I just took what I got. But guess what? Comes back. It's a lower low. Comes back, takes out that high, and doesn't even take out that. Right there, another failed high. But what is it actually at? It's another 50% level opening range hit. Dude, so this is a possibility when you sit back. Overbought again. And then comes in, takes it lower. Now squeezed more of here. Now there's a possibility of it buying. But are we in 3? Is this still 3? Or is this the pullback of 3 to be bullish and now get number 4? Okay, but it's not. But we don't know yet. Okay, so then this move happens. So they take out that, then they pop up. Why do you think they come back up? They're coming back to squeeze these sellers here and for these people to quit. And if you take a look, you'll see that this big ass candle, it's very hard to push through that candle. So look at the 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. And now we're at the midnight level. Look at the background of the midnight level. It's hitting that shit nicely right there. You have to understand that this is a possibility. Lower low, lower high. We've already got lower highs here. We already understand that if on the 15-minute chart, I can come back down into this area here and even sweep and make a new low, like what I'm saying here. Very, very simple. Forget all how high it is, just the understanding of that. That's exactly what we got today. Look at the 15-minute chart. Look at it. Okay, so you get that, right? So here, so I could be done. Knew this would sell, but I'm sitting back. I'm practicing patience. I promised myself even today when I do my morning ritual, I'm like, hey, you're gonna take what you get, what you want, and you know is for sure, and you're gonna not overtrade. You're not gonna be involved all day. It's a Monday, and you're tired, and do what you say you're gonna do, and and that's how you win, by following what you're supposed to do. And it's so at this point, it could be popping up. Look how high it got. Squeezed out right there. And guess what? It was just a lower high again. And then now, look how fucking beautiful this was. I couldn't believe. And on the day that I tell myself to make sure I really stick to the rule, and and whatever the case is, it ends up being one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So that lower high, we made a new lower low. This is a leg down. So now we got move 1, 2, for sure. 3. It came low. It didn't come up here. It came down here. So 3. This was leg 3. If I say that's leg 3, where's 4? I got 4 question mark. That's when I knew I was done with. I was already done. Nothing's marked. I was just not even paying attention. But I am also still monitoring from an eye, bird's eye view, right? With my left eye, right, peeking. But move number 3 down, and where's number 4? Right here. Moves up. 3 drives up. 1, 2, 3. What's it doing? It's taking out these breakout traders right here. Because by here, you know this bitch is coming down. This is a model all on itself. You can wait for this whole thing. Didn't know which way it was going. And then you sit here and you see this pop up, little blue candles. And it broke support, but you don't see it yet. Then it comes underneath and little candles, they come in. Again, boom, another entry right there. You might think it's going to bounce and come up. No, this is them going to shift it. You shouldn't be down here if you're buying. You shouldn't be down here if you're buying already. You've already did this. This was way too much right here already if you're really bullish. But we're bearish. Okay, so they switched. They came down. Move number 4. Retraces back. This is just a lower low to lower high. But you get 3 drives and it's squeezing in it. Look at the little gap. Came big. Right to that little gap. Look at the momentum when it pushed down. It's so algorithmic. It's very obvious. And a little gap. And we come and we tap it so perfectly. And then guess what? Now we're pushing up. I know that's number 4. That's definitely move number 4 now. Because when we came up, we got another drive up. So that's definitely a push back up. That's number 4. Is number 4 going to keep going? Or is it going to roll over and be another fucking lower high? And I couldn't believe it was that easy. And I was like mentally like, it's going to sell right there. It's going to sell hard. Look at this. And it just came down for a big leg. Guess what? Number 5. For number 5. That number 4 is 1,000. Whoops. That number 4 is 100% in the book. Retraced. Where's number 5? Oh my God. Oh my God, it came and swept. Look how easy. Yo. I'll be done. 36 minutes. Anyways, real quick. Dollar's still pushing down, so a little bit awkward there. If dollar decides to push up more, that could be a big thing for us selling down more. But at the same time, if this comes any lower, then we could be reaching a little bit of a bottom now for us to pop up back to wipe out all the sellers from today, for example, right? Because that shit was fucking easy. And as you see, we're coming up, we're buying up now, real quick. And then so there's that divergence there. This one was a fakery, so not worried about it. You had the bias kind of already. And then I want to be done. And then we retraced here. And then we had, at the time, we had lower highs here with Nas. We had higher highs here. And that was that sell. I already caught the sell originally. But the second sell that happened, that's how you could have caught that. And I saw that, but I left it alone. And then it popped back up. Came back. Nas took another high, but not that other high. But you can see lower highs here. You can see the strength here in the structure. Lower highs here, and then this is why that sell was beautiful. But I'm not in the market. Also because it's London close, and we're now approaching lunchtime, which is the 11:30, and they're gonna generally hunt for liquidity after 10 o'clock. Whereas after 10 o'clock, it's all these 2 lows right there. So just like similar to, I believe, yesterday. So, but it hunts for that, but really it's just a lower high and we're coming down. So when we got here, this at the time, it looked like it was an idea, but it was lower low here. And then we had higher lows here. So we wanted to see if it was going to buy up. That's why that possibility was it was going to buy up, but that's why I'm not fucking with him, because I don't know. And I don't want to be involved in this type of shit. Right. So exactly. Right. I hope that makes sense. So I'm really looking for the easy 2 moves, 3 moves. And then I'm not sitting at the market all day. I don't want to do that. So that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So, but it did buy, it did push up, and that was a nice trade. I mean, you're talking fucking, dude, you're talking about all these trades were like 100 and some points, dude, 150 points. Oh my God, dude, it's so fucking beautiful. All right, real quick, Dow, cool, came down. I told y'all about that shit. Push out coming out. They actually speakered out again. Look at that, bruh. Look at, I said that in the last video, and they came down and took out the. I mean, if that doesn't show you manipulation, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Think buyers and sellers are doing that, bro? Stop it. How convenient. So came out to that gap for and nice projection. So hey, again, we could be bullish. I'm not gonna be all freaking out about it's a recession, world's over, we're gonna be bearish structure only. Hey, right now we're treading lightly, and right now it's proving to show that it is bearish structure. So we'll flow with that. But don't think can't buy. But we'll see. So that was pretty obvious. and S&P pretty deep too, and a nice reaction on the wick there. So it looks like we're just gonna be like this, coming back in, and kind of like, before maybe it shows it's really bearish. We don't know, but coming lower is still fine, dude. So, but I'm not break. It's so beautiful. Oh, structure so beautiful, but we'll see. I'm not worried about any of that, but go look at yep, about 2022, that whole bearish flow. This is so gorgeous. And then where do we go from here? Well, oh, by the way, and I've been wanting to say it for videos ago. I want to remember when I used to say I wanted to see the daily. When we were dropping hard like this, I said I wanted to see the daily hit that bottom on the RSI on the daily, and we finally did that. I meant to say that yesterday, or even I think it was even Friday. Was it? I think it was even before Friday, but well, anyways, that it finally did it. So I want to see that. So if we're kind of coming to like a lower end, right, and then I want to see it turn around back up, and then us come back up in the RSI. But in a bearish world, we might not see it that well. The structure could get wide and big. That's why I'm making this video long, because I know this is pretty much explaining the rest of like the the foreseeable future of structure. But yeah, I mean, this is technically a break of structure, and it should be bearish. So we have that on the weekly. We have that imbalance right there, and we have that liquidity built. We can get some news that'll spike it up. We got NFP on Friday, so it's gonna be very interesting. But look at that, coming right to the gap, dude. Come on, that's just shit was there. Even mentioned that they're at 3.5 to 4. We're sitting there playing around, and then by the way, then now at the end of the day, not end of the day, but if I was to keep trading and look at the other projection, if you look at this swing here from this low to this high, now it's on the side here. It's the final thing I'll say. The projection for that is, because if you're bearish, you're looking for a new lower low, right? I mean, basically from Friday's low, you're making a new lower low from that lower high we made today. So look at 2.5, 2.5, fucking hovering the gaps, just beautiful, man. I told myself, I was like, man, you just missed the beautifulest day as far as these moves, and I knew they were happening, bro. It's scary for me sometimes to be able to know and see where all these moves can and are gonna happen, and it's like, dude, and I have to control myself and back off and completely get distracted with something else and be done and all that bullshit. But oh my god, just beautiful. I said all that. Yeah, that's not a coincidence, bro. And then Nvidia, when the price was here and it didn't look like it was bearish or not, it was heavy down here. So this was also tipping its hand that we were going to kind of roll down. But I mean, again, I'm done earlier in the market. So now they've made a new low, and I knew they would wanted to squeeze some of this. Look how they did that. I remember when I mentioned this and this popped up like this. I said they can build that later, but this was a great place to buy too. Sure enough, they're coming lower. They're just kind of like squeezing that out incognito, and then maybe we'll probably turn around. We'll see. But this is where we are, and it's just awesome. And again, we don't care what the market really does per se. We understand structure. We understand the flow. We understand back testing of, like what I was saying, 2022. Go over there and you see this. And what's the day recapping in? The daily popped up to the bearish imbalance. You got the gaps, and then you're flowing down. Look how the daily opens right there in that gap right there. You see that candle? See this today? So that's overlapping with each other. Very nice and nested. And then what are you doing here on the smaller time frame? Well, again, with these breakout levels, very, very logical places for the price to go to, understanding what, this price flow and where they're trying to fuck next, right? And beautiful, man. So that's explaining this and all this. So look at the algorithmic flow, dude. I don't think I need to say anything more, man. I didn't think I need to make another video ever again, bro. I'm just tired of doing it because I want to explain everything, but they're so long, and it's like, dude, 44 minutes, and it's like, but I've got done through telling you everything, and ain't nobody doing that, and you know, I just want to, I like chilling and not having to worry about it. But I think maybe this video should save it. But if I can now talk to more advanced people or whoever doesn't understand still, like I'm just gonna, if I do make new videos, I'll run it through quicker. But I wanted to explain all this in the detail. But from now on, I mean, if I'm gonna do videos, I'm gonna have to just run through it even quicker. If you don't understand it, you don't understand it. But by now, you should, and that would be a good place to teach at, because then I don't have to do the overkill and extra talking. All right. So otherwise, super fire, and you guys take care. God bless.